And hello fellow Taker Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today I bring you a game in the Manticore, and it's a guest replay from Fire Samurai, one of the newer members of the Night Owls clan. And if you guys still are interested in joining Night Owls clan, we're still recruiting, so please contact me via Discord or via YouTube, whichever way is better for you, and we can definitely set up a recruiting session for you. Regardless, today I'm going to show you a ridiculous game in the Manticore, and Fire Samurai is a specialist when it comes to Manticore, so what you're going to see is quite crazy amount of spotting damage. And trust me if I tell you, Fire Samurai had better games than this. This is not his highest damage game, to be honest, but because it's full of action and it's an active scouting type of a game, I decided to show it to you guys here. Because it's different. He gets himself in the middle of the map here on Mali, and because he didn't spot anything coming up to that bush in the middle, he decided to push forward. But wait a minute. He's got a counterpart. The Red's light tank is going right after him, and that's the last light tank you really want to play with. T100 LT is the last tank you want to see when you're in a Manticore, because it will tear you to pieces. So I think Samurai wants to get out of this situation as quickly as possible, and he drops back on his side of the map, and because he did that, 100 LT had to drop to his side of the map. At the same time, Samurai is not backing up. He's gonna keep on trying to go into the middle, and he's gonna keep on trying to respot the 100 LT or whoever else he can spot. As you can see, he's very aggressive spotter early in the game. If the passive scouting role is not working, he's gonna move up and he's gonna try to see where the enemy is, and that's the way to do it. With Manticore you can do it simply because of the camo, right? So he's gonna move himself a little bit further out. Again, he gets spotted here, so he's gonna drop off, and just because he's behind the ridge, he's pretty safe over here, and he's gonna come back into the middle again, and he's gonna keep on playing this pest role, right? He's just not gonna go away. He's just gonna be sitting here spotting, and if he's not spotting, he's gonna move further up towards enemy territory. He's gonna start spotting, and if not, then he's gonna keep dropping into position where he's safe behind the ridge. That's exactly what he's gonna do. He takes a shot over there, he gets spotted, so he's gonna drop off right now, and he's gonna do step and repeat. So he's pretending that he's running away, but he's gonna turn around right here in a split second, and he's gonna go back and spot. And that's exactly what you should do. Well, in this situation, I guess he didn't come back and spot. He goes to a different bush to see if there's anybody else trying to go through the middle of the map. And yeah, he can't spot anything, so he's gonna continue going towards this side of the map to see if there's anything else he can spot at the same time. As you can see, his early spots are already sitting at what, 1700, almost 800 spotting damage. And he's gonna get a lot more, guys. He's gonna get a lot more in this game, and you'll see. So he's getting into aggressive position in the middle here. 100 LT had the same idea. He came here at the same time Fire Samurai did, but at the same time he countered him, right? So 100 LT is spotted, he gets hit, so is Fire Samurai, right? So he's gonna continue doing the same thing. Now, I'm really impressed how he plays this tank on this map, to be honest, because like I mentioned to you earlier, this tank is more of a passive scout, and you want to be sitting in a bush for the most part and spot instead of moving around, because like you don't have a really good reload, right? Even with that alpha, that reload is pretty crap. Let's see what that reload is. It's probably like 10 seconds at least, 10 or 11 second reload, right? So last thing you want to do is trade with other light tanks. But what I like is that he is playing it very aggressively. He's moving really close so that he can actually get the spots like he does over here. At the same time, he does get opportunities to shoot at these tanks, right? He's moving bush to bush, as you can see. Bushes are providing camo for him, so the chance of getting spotted is much lower than normally would be. But he's in front of the fight, right? And that's what he's gonna do the entire game. He's just gonna hang around on the opposition side of the map pretty much for the majority of the game, and he's gonna just play it very aggressive, and he's baiting opposition to shoot him, right? Using his handbrake a lot to twist and turn and get away from the opposition when he's spotted. And that's pretty much everything he's going to be doing in this game. Collecting the spotting damage, which is going to be ridiculous. And you'll see at the end of the game what's going to happen there. He's got a nice shot here on the side of the Yak Tiger. He puts it in, and then he drops off from, you know, from that bush to lower area of that hill. Again, he's first to the fight. He's right in your face, right in front, spotting everything that moves. And he's gonna get ridiculous reward at the end. That spotting damage is absolutely incredible, to be honest, for this type of a tank. Especially if you're not passive scouting, right? And I mean, Fire Samurai had some absolutely ridiculous games in this tank. And I've seen a game where he did 14,000 assisted damage, which I will leave the link below so that you guys can see this game, because it's another incredible game, except it was more of a passive scouting game. Luckily here, 100 LT gets killed and he gets away from him. He doesn't have to fight him, because if he did have to fight him, that would be a problem. So, but he keeps on moving on the enemy. Enemy's missing the shots, and that's exactly what you need to do in a light tank. Except Manticore? I don't know. He takes Manticore to the next level, guys, to be honest. The way he plays it so aggressive that I could say he's taken it to the next level completely. Anyway, he's got this guy over here. Tried to put a shell into him. Unfortunately, that doesn't work. But he keeps him spotted. He gets taken out. And this is pretty much game over, because he spotted the entire enemy team. I mean, look at the spotting damage. He's sitting at almost 11,000 right here at this point in time. It's just incredible. I mean, you don't have to do pure damage in a light tank if you can do crazy assisted damage and help your team win the way he does. It's absolutely unbelievable, to be honest. But, you know, in order to be a light tank player, you have to have quick reactions. You have to know how to use your handbrake well. You have to anticipate the opposition making certain plays. You have to know your positions on the map, where to go in early, where to go in late. Yeah, I mean, and reaction time is the main thing. So if you're a light tank player, definitely game style like this will work for you. Myself, I don't consider myself a light tank player, and I don't think I ever will be, because that game style is a little bit too fast-paced for me. But regardless, I think some of you guys will benefit from these videos. That's why I want to show them to you. Anyway, so he's sitting at almost 11k assisted damage, almost 1400 pure damage, and this is the time where you actually collect your pure damage, right? When you're in a light tank. Final damage is very important. Although in his situation doesn't really matter. He's sitting at almost, what, 13,000 combined? I don't think it's that important anymore. Is he going to be able to finish this guy at the end of the game? Let's see. Unfortunately not. That guy gets taken out, and he finishes off with almost 13,000 combined damage. So it's a victory. Obviously, he finishes in the first spot. Let's take a look at the post-game stats and see how he did. So he managed to make 65,000 credits, 1758 damage induced, 11,432 damage assisted, which brings the total to over 13,000 combined damage. And for this, he only gets class 1 mastery, I guess. There's a lot of players playing Manticore right now, abusing its camo values, but still, he finished on top of the team with a very fantastic result. Anyway, I have a second game for you guys from Fire Samurai, and the second game will be more pure damage game. So this game is on Hallouf, and he will show you how to play light tank on a quite difficult map, as Hallouf actually is. Okay, so let's see what he does over here. Initially on this map, well, for light tanks anyway, a lot of light tanks like going into F6 area, somewhere around there, in order to spot early in the game. And that's what I thought that he was going to do initially, but he's going to choose a different position. And this position is pretty powerful too, because it has a nice bush that actually works. So that's what he's going to do. He's going to try to get through into position D4 or somewhere around here. Because from here you can actually spot all these guys crossing into the hill area where the brawling actually happens. And in this situation, he's gonna sit quietly in the bush and he's not gonna fire his gun. And you'll see, like, this Sheridan comes so close to him and he did not spot him. But he's observing him all the time. In case he does pop up on this side of the map, he would have to engage him and then run off. that would be a difficult situation for him. But luckily Sheridan decides not to push any further. So he's gonna stick around here and passive scout for a little bit. And the last thing he wants to do is actually move. Because like I mentioned earlier, if Sheridan spots him here, he's gonna be in trouble because there are probably a bunch of TDs sitting at, you know, area F3 or G4 or somewhere over there on the opposition side of the map. So that's the last thing you want to do. Now this is more of a common role for this tank. It's passive scout sitting in a bush because of the camo values of this tank are freaking ridiculous. I don't know what it is. Maybe Fire Samurai can share his setup of the tank in the comment section below. I think he will, so that he can provide some guidance to all of you light tankers out there. But yeah, he's not gonna fire his gun. Now in my situation, I have itchy finger. I don't know if I'll be able to sit here and just not fire at this guy, to be honest. And I would betray my position. Now one thing about Manticore, and it's kind of evident in this game, is the fact that it doesn't have any gun elevation. As you can see, he can't even aim at this guy right there. He has to move back in order to fire at him. It has really poor gun depression and very poor gun elevation. Yet he decides to fire that shell. And the only reason he did that was because Sheridan has already dropped off and Sheridan moved to a different position. If Sheridan was where he is right now, I don't think he would have fired that shell, because that would have been a dangerous situation. So he's gonna go back to this bush. He's gonna see what develops up on top of the hill or B2 area right there. Once his friendlies win that area, he's gonna move ahead. But until that happens, he's gonna just stick around in this position and he's gonna try to just spot the field. There are some TDs on our side of the map that can actually provide firepower. He fires the shell at the Sheridan right there. He gets spotted, but because he's in no danger, he can easily drop behind the hill and go unspotted. He's checking this side, as you noticed there, to make sure that no one has shots at him. And he's gonna do step and repeat. Same situation. Over and over. Using the bush. This side is winning. It looks like his team is running over the opposition. So he's gonna try to move to this side of the map where his friendlies are winning. And push further, finish off these guys that are still one-shots potentially. Maybe he can help push this flank a little bit better. But I think he's noticed at this point that his opposition is gonna die off on this side of the map. So he decided to take care of this Sheridan over here. And maybe that's a good choice, because last thing you want is a light tank in the game. And if you can take out opposition's light tank from the game as quickly as possible, that's a big bonus for you. And that's exactly, I think, what he wants to do here. So he's moving in on this light tank. At the same time, he's gonna draw closer to the opposition side of the map so that he can proximity spot someone up here. I think that's exactly what he's doing. So he can have shots at the Sheridan, yet he can spot whoever's poking over the ridge on the right hand side. He's not spotting anybody, but he'll get the back shots into that Sheridan in a split moment here. And again, gun elevation is a problem on the Manticore. He cannot bring it up. But here he finds a gun of elevation and he takes this guy out of the game. Now the game is relatively close, and it's going to be close all the way through. He thought that they actually won the hill area, but it looks like the opposition is pulling back. And he does have a shot at the Progetto over here, so he puts a shell into him. Nice position to provide some firepower from this side, especially crossfire into these guys on top of the hill. That's a really nice spot. And that Progetto still spotted, so he's going to put another shell into him. And he did hit him, because you could see his XP numbers were going up. So now he's going to flank from this side. No more shots. Time to go after Artie. And I think that's exactly what he's going to do. He spots one Artie. He's going to put a shell into him. But he's going to have to play it smart and cautious, because, you know, Artie game. Artie can one-shoot you at any point in time. So he's going to use this mobility, move forward, and take this Artie out just like that. Now he's going to turn around. Be cautious, because Lightning's coming after him at the same time. But he's going to go after this Artie. He's going to want to take him out of the game. But Artie gets shot down before he actually gets there. So now, what is he going to do? What is he going to do now? Is he going to fight on this side of the map, engage that light tank, or is he going to drop over to the middle area of the map. He decides to stay on this side of the map. The opposition's light tank seems like he dropped off, and from this position here he's gonna have nice side shots into whoever is coming through the middle of the map. That's what he does exactly. He puts a shell into that TD, and his friendly Tiger Shark came at the same time. So looks like he's not alone on this side of the map, which is good. TD gets taken out, but all of a sudden something gets spotted behind him, and it's a TD, and the TD is tunnel vision, wasn't even paying attention to him, so he put a shell into him. At the same time, he's paying attention to the light tank. He doesn't want to get shot by the light tank. He doesn't want to get shot by the TD. Definitely, this Tiger Shark did a really bad thing by stopping and backing up, because if you do that, definitely anything can shoot you. If you're in a light tank, you better stay on the move. And Fire Samurai, instead of trying to shut down the TD, he decided to drop off because he was probably afraid of the Alpha. And that's exactly what I would do, because you never know. Although I don't think that TD would be able to one-shoot him, so he could have easily taken a shot, but why risk your HP at this point, right? I mean, the game is relatively close and you're in a carry situation, so last thing you want to do is take a big hit at this point in the game, right? So may as well drop behind him right here and take him out of the game. That's a better play. At the same time, he's spotted now, so he's going to have to play it cautious now. Good thing about Manticore is the fact that it's such a low to the ground type of a tank that even in any uneven terrain, you can just get yourself in a dip and no one will be able to see you. Anyway, he's going to try to drop on this light tank over here, so he's going to try to see if he can hit him in the ass. Yes, he can. And again, his rate of fire is not very good, so he was thinking about running off, but light tank decides to go in the middle of the map for whatever reason. So he's not going to chase him. He's going to take this blind shot at the TD in the middle of the map. I don't know if he hit him. I don't think he actually hit him, but it's 3v3. The game is really, really close. So I think it's a good thing that he held on to his HP, because that HP is so important at the end of the game or late stages of the game, especially if you're in a light tank. So he's going to try to use this bush, see if he can spot anything here. He can't spot anything. He's going to move a little bit forward. As you can see, both of his TDs are sitting like in the corners of the map. Everyone else is dead except for him and his TDs. He puts a shell into this T-30. Unfortunately, he gets spotted at the same time, so he had to drop off. He fakes that he's gonna go the other way, yet he's gonna come back into the same position here. The T-30 is looking at him, so he's gonna have to take that shot and quickly run off, and he does. Yeah, that was a little bit sketchy there, because, you know, in my situation, I'll probably get blind shot, to be honest. Anyway, light tank shows up on his behind, so he's gonna have to run off quickly, but light tank is only one shot. So can he put a shell into him and take him out of the game? Yes, he can. The opposition light tank misses his shot, and now the game should be pretty much closed at this point. I think he should be able to finish it up in style. He pretty much carried the entire game, to be honest. And if not carried, he had a serious contribution to this game. All of his spots, look at the damage. I mean, not all of his spots, but he's got 2,000 spotting damage. He's got 5,000 pure damage, over 5,000 pure damage. Quite a ridiculous game already for Manticore with that reload. Absolutely crazy. So I guess he's anticipating the opposition's remaining TD to be on this side of the map, and that's exactly where he is. He spots him right here. He puts a shell into him, and yeah, TD disappears, so he's gonna go after him right now. The TD won't even know where he's coming from, so he should be able to easily get a drop on him from behind and get the back shots right there, especially now since his friendly TD started engaging this guy. So yeah, that should be no problem right here. And he's got his sight, so he's gonna put a shell into him, but that misses on the move. Oh man, unlucky there, absolutely unlucky. But TD is not paying attention to him, so he should be able to put a shell right into his ass right there, and he should be able to put one more in to top up his damage numbers a little bit. Let's see if he can do it right here. Should be easy shot. Wow, the TD moves. Luckily, he does put it in. That's where I would prefer just manually aiming, to be honest, guys. Because, like, you never know, especially top armor TD like E3 is. may as well make sure that shell goes in. But anyway, he finishes in style. Fantastic game for the Manticore again. I mean, this guy, he plays this tank really, really well. One of the best Manticore players I've seen, but again, there isn't so many of these tanks on the battlefield, to be honest. And again, he finishes with only class 1, which should have been an ace. Anyway, if you look at the link below, he's got 14k assisted damage game that I will provide a link to, and that one was an ace. And the only reason I didn't show it was because I thought these two games were more action-packed and probably better to show you how to play both active scouting role in this tank and passive scouting role. And El Hallouf game was close as well at the end, so I thought it was probably better to show you. But if you want to see the extremely high spotting damage game that Fire had, it will be in the description section below, and that game is on Prokhorovka, and you can probably check out his positioning there as well, which was pretty key in order to win that game. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks to Fire Samurai for sending these replays to me, much appreciated. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking. Space Bandit checking out.